I mean, albeit a lot, I've honestly really truly come to like enjoyment the DAT Bootcamp, to be honest. Like it's still a lot of information then one should have to learn. But I think it all makes sense in the grand scheme of things when you think about, I guess, dental school. Like it will go into depth. I remember when I started plans, I was like, okay, like we're gonna get into plans, we're gonna get into everything that we need to know. But when it really started getting into the detail, I mean, for example, like Woody plans and breaking down their different layers, like the what's that thing called? The court conundrum, something like that. And then primary xylem, secondary xylem, all that, the vascular conundrum, like, and then how it's the court in the middle, and I was like, okay, it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm like, all right, but still, I mean, it makes sense, and honestly, it was still pretty interesting to know, like the plant that I'm looking at right now, like this tree. Those are the layers within it, you know. And I think that's what really reinvigorates me, and honestly gives me motivation because I'm like, who we, oh my gosh, complaining a little bit, like it just keeps going. I'm like, all right, we get it. Like, why do we keep talking about this? But it's still interesting. It's still interesting nonetheless. It's still interesting. And I think now more than ever, like, I just saw this because I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I actually, funny enough, am excited to want to, like, and learn, like, just a tad, like, give it up for back to school. Give it up for back to school. Like, that's honestly how I've been feeling. Quiet. So we're just talking. But yeah, it just honestly has been fun to learn everything again. And it's just reinvigorating because I think, yes, knowing them to a T for the test, but it's not just for the test, it's just generally the learning of it all. Like, that's what's been fun. So having to, like, do it every single day, sometimes there's just fatigue naturally, but also it just takes you know, takes the piss out of it. It takes the piss out of it. But I like it. Because I was just thinking to myself, like, and I'm still on biology. Because, I mean, the reality is, aside from just not having the time, because Shimoka was here and you only get one summer, and I'm like, whoa, aside from having to pick her up from time to time, which I knew I didn't have to. I definitely didn't have to do all that. I just wanted to because, I mean, it's going to be very, very rare and far and few in between to go and see a diva. Now I know I can see a diva almost every day if I want to, but we're not doing that. That's just not realistic. It's just not practical. And yeah, but I'm just like, yeah, I just want to enjoy my summer, and that really took over because I definitely have made strides. Like, I'm on chapter 10.2 now, and we're basically in the AMPs, and the AMPs take up majority of biology. After this, I believe it's like 4 more chapters, and then I'll finally be done with biology. When, I don't know, but I know that I can't. I just know that I'm making strides, but I can't rush because I've been taking my time, though, that I've been able to remember these different things. Now, I might be like, the thing is, I might not remember every single slide, but as soon as you bring up the term, as soon as I see the term, I'm like, oh, I remember everything about it. Like, for example, I'm going through, like, tracheophytes and the brachophytes and stuff. And, like, as I'm saying it, I'm remembering, okay, the tracheophytes had the fern, which is seedless, and then the seed-bearing ones, which were the angiosperms, and then the gymnosperms and stuff. And then you had the brachiocytes, like moss, and so now I'm remembering stuff and how it likes to stay in its, what's that one? The sporophyte phase of life. Whereas with the other one, tracheiophytes can go either way, but it prefers the gymnophyte. But yeah, so now, like, it's like thinking about plants, I think about everything, but what I'm trying to get to is no matter what you ask, I will remember it. Not only remember it, understand it. That's what's so different about now and then that I'm really happy about, because I'm like, being a Coolidge girl, getting a bachelor's degree and an undergrad, it's not like I wasn't paying attention. It's just you try to cram in as much information as you can for the test that's next week. And so you by force have to learn as much as you can just for the test. Not necessarily to understand now. It's granted, it's not like I didn't understand, because like what I understood then is what I understand now. It's not like it never made any sense. It's just it makes more sense because I know every detail and I'm not leaving things out on purpose. Because when you're working on a system like that, you just have to, as long as I know 95%, and then boom, that's exactly what you get on the test. But at least you passed. And so, but it's like now I'm able to take my time and actually enjoy what I'm learning, because I'm genuinely understanding every single bit of it, like every single player that's involved, every single detail. For example, in cellular respiration, I understood it that ATP, it creates ATP, but it's just the way that I couldn't care for the process, and it was always just so convoluted. And granted, it's still kind of not really. I can't say that in good faith, not really, because as long as you know what is going on step for step, it will make sense. I don't know. It's just I think being introduced to it and being exposed to it definitely helps. You know, thanks to the degree and all, but it's just like now more than ever, I'm actually understanding it step by step. From glycolysis happening in the cytoplasm, and then you move into the mitochondria for all the rest of the three processes and stuff. And so kind of knowing what are the end products helps you to know the whole process. Like in pyruvate decarboxylation, it's carbon dioxide, what's it called? Not pyruvate, carbon dioxide, NADH plus. And then what's the biggest girl? What's the big name, big product at the end? It's the acetyl-CoA. And then so it's just like, once you know that is what's actually going into the Krebs cycle, TCA, what's the other one that they like to use? The tricyclic. And that's another thing. Also knowing all three, because I saw somebody else say that in the Reddit, where it's just like always trying to know the different names of stuff, because sometimes they'll call things like a gene a loci, which I get it, but it's just like the loci is like the location of the certain gene. So why can't you just say gene? But whatever, like, because I don't know. I know at the end of the day it's the same thing, as long as you know what they're talking about. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's the shit. But yeah, no. So it's called pyruvate decarboxylation, pyruvate manipulation, and then there's another one. But yeah, the end product for the Krebs cycle is a lot, but it's carbon dioxide, ATP, NADH, and then we have a new girl now. Now we have FAD. Plus, yeah, NADH plus, and then FAD, I believe. Absolutely again, but it should be that, and then the carbon dioxide and stuff like that, and then all of that, for the most part, goes into the electron transport chain. It's really the big girls of that is NADH plus, and then FAD plus, because it helps with the electron transport chain, and so also what's going in there is oxygen too. They didn't explicitly come from it's aside from the Krebs cycle. But yeah, anyway, the reason why is because that's what is being oxidized and turned into water. So it's ATP and water that's produced at the end of this cellular respiration. And then, like, I remember I was just watching this random video, and there was these graduates, and they were asking them, how much do you know, for like 5 questions or something. And I remember they were mentioning epistasis and stuff. And I mean, relearning all of this and like reviewing everything, and I'm like, wow. And then everything makes sense also. Another thing that I've been doing and that I've been doing even then, if I truly had the time, was just like breaking down the word. It's always something that I would only do from time to time if I could remember it, because sometimes you just want to understand the information. But another way to understand it and know what you're talking about, and what, even if you like may not know the process in detail, knowing the word helps you know everything about what the process is, even if you forgot it. It's like, what does the word mean? Now I don't know what stasis is. I was like, let me look that up. I don't know what the suffix means. Let's see, standing still, stopping are a stable state of balance. Homeostasis, yeah, like homeostasis, a stable balance. Hemostasis, the stopping of blood flow. Angiostasis, the slowing or stopping of blood flow. This actually makes sense. Homeostasis is the balance or the state of balance. But if you think about epistasis, it's the epi is like occurring at the top or occurring at the surface of something, and then stasis is the stopping of something. So something at the top of the gene is stopping the expression of another gene. So that all makes sense. And I was like, and a way to think about it is, epi is at the top, and it's like something that's on top that's covering, like a hat. Somebody puts a hat on, you no longer can see their hair. Now they look bald because you can't see their hair because of the hat. That's essentially what's happening with epistasis. Because you have a gene that's topping, covering, or masking the expression of one gene because of another. So for example, hair color. If somebody has a gene that codes for baldness, it doesn't matter. Like, regardless of the hair color, they are not going to express that hair color because they're bald. And the same thing goes with if they had albinoism, but the dominant hair color is black, brown, black, blue. They're not going to express it because they have albinism, and that will mask the expression of the dominant hair color, or mask the expression of hair color because they're bald. So that's epistasis. So if I didn't know anything about that process, knowing examples and or knowing the name and breaking it down really helps to know everything. So it's like, oh, I don't know what homeostasis is, but I know the word. Like, what is the study of etymology? Is that the study of words? I think honestly, getting into words really does help though. Etymology. Etymology is the study of origin of words. Yeah, exactly. I think helping, especially in biology, but anything everywhere, knowing the word will help you to understand what's going on. So stopping. So gene stopping the expression of another gene. So yeah, that's epistasis. And because I was going like that and learning it like that, when they asked that question, I mean, I did just review it when I saw that video come up. But yeah, I was like, that's how I've been moving and will continue to move with that boot camp. And so I can't rush, because it's because I've been moving like this that I've been able to understand the information. So, I mean, truly, aside from understanding it for the test, it really is just interesting, and it just has been reminding me and reinvigorating me why I went for the major in the first goddamn place, because it genuinely is interesting. Like, knowing that as I'm running my mouth and as I'm walking and moving my arms, that my body is doing the cellular respiration, because that's what also that I've been reminded about, is like all these processes are continuously happening. It's not just like, oh, so division is happening when you're born and yeah, it's only doing that. Like, no, your genes are dividing to recover or to heal your skin. Like, it's like that whole DNA replication is to replace skin that you've lost, like a wound that is healing, and it is just insane. And then knowing that different parts of your body, like, I don't know, like when you're, it's not that it's just, I just wasn't thinking about it in that way. Like, you think about it in a very different way after you graduate. Because when you're learning it for the first time, you think about it in a one-dimensional way. Like, for me, one-dimensional is only occurring once, like, and that this is the whole cell. you got your lysosome, you got your mitochondria, you got your smooth ER, all that. You don't think that it wasn't until she said it specifically, especially that she was talking about the liver has an abundance of smooth ER because they break down fats, they break down lipids, and then they also detoxify and stuff like that. And then they synthesize for proteins. And that detoxification is the biggest one for the liver because that's exactly what the liver does. And so it made me think about like all the specific organs and what they have an abundance of based off of the complete model of a cell and its organelles. And I was like, because you're learning it in a full picture, big picture thing. You don't think about the muscles having more mitochondria. I mean, it makes sense though, but it's like you don't think about specifically, the liver having more smoothie and you just think about cells and organelles as a whole, every single organelle, every single cell, but knowing that it might be absent because your liver doesn't need. Well, I can't even say that with my full because it would make sense for it to have mitochondria in order for it to do what it needs to do. But still, like, it would just have more of this, then it has more of that because it needs this for that. And I'm like, you're not thinking about that because I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of it, all of it, not all of it, all of it. When is Harley Quinn coming back? Damn. When is Harley Quinn coming back? I'm sick of it. Miss Harley Quinn. Now that's a good ass show. And they have yet to announce it. They have yet to wait. No, bitch. They're talking about some airing January 16th through March 20th, 2025. When is season 6? Now. Has not yet been officially renewed. What? But it got a 96%. Let me see the latest score for the 5th season. Stop being lazy. Stop being lazy. See, season 5 got a 94%. Like, this show's been doing good. Like, they know how to write. Man. Anyway. And see, that's another great show because, yeah, it's ridiculous and it's not grounded in no type of reality. But they still do. They still talk about something. It's never in depth. I'm just thinking about how she's a biochem girl. STEM girl stand up. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, I think just it's kind of crazy because I remember when I was genuinely getting into it, it was back in like the later half of May going into June where I actually started studying for DAT Bootcamp. And I was like, okay, like my plan of action is to be done and be able to take the test, like the finale of DAT Bootcamp and finally letting DAT Bootcamp go was in December. But like the reality of it is that it's August and I'm still on biology. And I'm like, oh, because I thought June would be biology. July would be the hell is that thing called? Gen Chem. And then August perfectly would be OChem because I'm actually learning. Well, I finally officially. That's how you come into arrive. That's how you come into arrive. I officially registered for the OChem class that I thought I wouldn't be able to register for because. And so now we register for it. And yeah. Anyway, so what was I about to say? And so that's what I'm saying. OChem 2, I was taking the class for it, and then I was gonna be on OChem on that boot camp. So they were gonna sync up and help a diva out. But I'm still on biology. So and I have thought about like skipping around, but I really don't want to do that. I want to go in order so I can finish everything because what is the point of my being on chapter 10.2 virology and then skipping to math or go, I just want to go in order and be able to move in this way. And I have to move in this way. And to be honest, with that bootcamp being the resource, it is possible. Like I just wanted to just truly run my mouth about how much I appreciate that bootcamp. Like these people can teach. if I had any wind, any iota of like seriousness and or not even seriousness, it's just more so had a serious consideration to go down this path, I would have discovered that bootcamp and would have been using the hell out of it during undergrad because they genuinely know how to teach on here better than my professors. I didn't understand cellular respiration to a T like I do now. And even then, I mean, I know about the oxalate being in Prep Cycle and it's going from like 4 to 5. I got to review that, but still, it's like this like brown bubble and it kind of looks like an orange. And it's just acetyl CoA comes in and then oxalate. We'll see about it. And so in either case, I genuinely know because of the products of it. Oh, that multiplication thing kind of threw me off though, because it's like for every ACP molecule used, you gotta multiply it by 2, some bullshit like that. But so instead of it being like, oh, 2 ATP, 2 pyruvate, 2 NADH plus, like in glycolysis, I guess it's 4 for each. Whatever, something like that. But I'll review it. But still, knowing it better, like in terms of the process, is crazy. It is insane. And not just doing, I know NADHs and this and da, like actually really understanding it down to the T. Not saying like cellular respiration is but at least I know everything else. It's like, no, I know everything and then else. That's how I'm moving and that's how I will continue to move. And it's thanks to Boo. And it's thanks to the Boo. And I just can't believe in it. No, I can believe in it. I just can't believe it. No, I can believe it. What am I talking about? But yeah, anyway. But yeah, I believe in it. I believe in it. That bootcamp has been great. Like I genuinely, even, in the moment, I feel like I was like, what was I doing then? Because it's like I got it then, but I'm not getting it then like I'm getting it now. And I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact because it's like maybe I did a lot of like mnemonics and things like that to remember, like, okay, remember when it comes to the heart, you look at it from the right to the left. And that's kind of confusing because when you take a heart, like your heart is right here. Why? That would be my only question. Am I tripping? Because it's like your heart. If somebody else is looking, they'll see it from the left to the right. But if I'm looking down on it, this is the left and this is the right, which makes sense because when viewed anatomically, you're viewing it from right to left. Like, is that why we view it from right to left? Because if looking down at the heart, this is the left side to me and this is the right side to the person. I don't know why. I don't think I've looked at it. I'm like, why is it flipped? Why is the heart viewed in the flipped way? Like, why is it? Maybe it's so simple and I'm just overthinking, but the heart appears flipped in medical diagrams because it is shown from the perspective of the facing patient. I knew it from the perspective of the facing patient, matching the patient's actual left and right sides rather than your own view. I was going to say, because if they're looking, this would be left and this would be right, just the same way. Like I'm looking at the heart, left, right. But no, it's right, left. But now that I'm looking down, is it because you look down left to right? And I'm like, right. I just asked a random question. Okay. Anyway, but when I was learning, I'm like, okay, right, and this and that. I think what was confusing is, like I said before, I was like, what are the lungs in it? Why are the lungs in it? Get out of here, lungs. Like, why do we have to? And I get it because the oxygen. But it's like when you're learning it, at least when I'm learning it, I try to separate things a lot. I know everything is connected, but in order for me to stay connected, but no, in order, like, why did they do that? Like, who's in the studio? Stay connected. I mean, she was a diva though. Stay connected. But no, I've always wanted to do that Disney thing, Stay connected. Why are you doing that here? Copyright. And I'm being sued on Disney. But no, anyway. when I was learning it, I would always try to separate it to make it easier for myself. Like, this is the heart, so you be the heart, and this is the lungs, so you be the lungs. Why are we talking about heart? And now you want to lump the lungs and the heart all in one and call it the circulatory system? Like, no. The lungs are the respiratory system. And then the heart, you can leave that for the circulatory system since, the blood is circulating. Even though I would call it the heart system to make it easier for myself. And so I think that was a little confusing. Like, oh, they got a pulmonary and then pulmonary with all that. They got a pulmonary. I'm like, oh my God. What are we talking about? Like, it was a little convoluted, especially with my mind eyes, my new fresh eyes. I was like, girl, whoa. But A&P still remains my favorite subject to this day. But hooey, I was like, what is going on? But everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. It's like, right, pulmonary artery because it's going to the lungs to get the oxygen and bring it back to the veins. And then also, when you think about it, like when you're going through like the different blood vessels, now that one is a little different. I would not talk about that in terms of this. I'm like trying to make connections because they're a little different. I mean, I'm no cardiovascular girl. Somebody would have to explain this, but just a little more. Because in the capillaries, there's a higher blood pressure, but the least amount of blood level when you're going from arteries and then arterioles, and that's when it has this like big drop in blood pressure. Then it goes into the capillaries, then it goes into the venous, and then it goes to veins. And then the blood pressure is just going down in that decline. But there's more blood in the veins. Maybe that kind of makes sense in terms of like the heart in itself and like it's how it's circulating, because when the blood comes back from the lungs and into the pulmonary vein, there's more blood, right? And there's more oxygenated blood. I know that much. I'm not going to confuse myself, but when you're looking at that diagram of the blood vessels, it's blue on this side and it's red on this side. But instead of thinking about it in a oxygenated and deoxygenated way, it's more so that this is talking more so about pressure, like red for a lot of pressure, hot, and blue for like low pressure, but a lot of blood in the veins. And that part kind of can make sense in terms of like the flow of blood in the heart because there's more blood or oxygenated blood. Anyway, those are two separate things. I know they're connected, but let's just not. Let's just not. I just wonder if yeah, anyway. They do have correlation. I don't know, but I do know much about the flow of the heart. It's ridiculous. Like it's just so straightforward now. That's what's crazy. And I check it up again, truly to being exposed to it, thanks to being a bio Coolidge girl. But now also having somebody who knows how to fucking teach, because the way the formatting, the interface and everything about bootcamp really makes sense. Like they just know how to do it. And I think, or I know, because they said this, right? Everything that you have on your website is connected to the real, okay. But yeah, like they don't, because they could go into detail, but there's no need for that. Like for the most part, everything is general. And so they're giving you information that you need. And I'm like, wow, this could be so convoluted if I wasn't on bootcamp. Like everything is just so straightforward. And I just like the way that they break everything down. They just know how to do it. Like everything that used to be a pain. Oh my gosh, like DNA replication, like all the helocase, the primary. I'm like, what is going on? Because Okazaki fragments, I used to be like, that used to be the only thing I remember. Oh, Okazaki fragments, I don't know Okazaki fragments. You don't even know what it is and why it's there. I know it. Like it actually makes sense. Like the Nagasaki fragments are in the lagging strand because this is when DNA replication is not occurring, right? Like the leading strand is when just that it's leading the replication, it's moving the replication forward. Lagging is when it's starting to slow down, and you need those Nagasaki fragments because they no. There's a glue. The DNA ligase actually glues those fragments together, and then like it basically is like the cement for that new DNA that was replicated. And I'm like, and even like the what's that thing, the topoimerase, the topoimerase, it just basically helps to relieve the unwinding, from going out of control and all that stuff. Topoiso, you see, it's one of those things where if I see it, I always that. Oh, is that? So I also like that the dad is multiple choice. Because as long as I see it, I'm like, oh, it's dad. Not to be confused with telomerase, or not to be confused with telomeres, which are the ends of the DNA, like the chromatids, which help to like buffer the loss of DNA. Because the DNA, the meat of the DNA is in the middle, and the telomeres are the ends of that. They're kind of like plugs. They're like eraser caps, and they basically hold the DNA in place. Now, if you were to erase the erasers, if you were to erase those caps, then you expose the DNA from being lost. So it's, yeah, like if the telomeres break away, then you just have the DNA exposed and you will lose DNA. So it keeps it from losing the DNA. Everything is making sense. And heredity and genetics were a big bitch in this what's it called, DAT Bootcamp biology section so far. Like they had the most lessons, like 100 and something slides. I was on that forever. And I'm now finally on the ones that have 70 something, and I'm grateful. And technically speaking, it's not even 70 something slides. It's really like not half of that, but like the beginning and the end slides are just the title slides. So once you remove those two, it's really not that many slides of information. So yeah, it's not even 74 slides. It's really probably like 60 something or 50 something, but yeah, either way, it's not bad. It's not bad. And I'm like, I understand this shit, but I do check it up to the fact that I'm not on a time crunch like I was in undergrad, and I just am better able to take my time, and I'm actually intrigued by the information because I'm able to take my time. I'm not like under pressure to understand and learn this shit. But yeah, it's just everything makes sense. Like right atrium, like the blood is coming from the body through the superior vena cava. Speak. I think that is just amazing. Like every blood here in my head. I'm a diva. No, every blood. What are we doing? Here in my head to the ears, all the way down. I had a nightmare because it might as well be a nightmare. Like I had a nightmare, low key. Because it has to be that I accidentally texted this person that I do not want to talk to in real life. Like I don't want anything to do with this person. And I'm like, why? Like I think I was texting something to somebody else or trying to like I do, like I don't know if I was texting somebody, like I don't know if I was texting somebody else or trying to see if this text makes sense, like write it out and think about it like before I send it to this person or whatever. But it definitely wasn't the person I was supposed to send it to. And then they started responding and then telling me how, oh my gosh, simulation of a dream. Because this person was telling me like, oh, these are the different versions of the text that I wanted to text you if you were ever going to respond. And it was all this AI bullshit. It had to be because it was different flavors of the same text message. Like he had the original, and then it was what's it called? I was like, oh, it's supposed to be anonymous. Oh, but yeah, no. He had his original text and then the different flavors of that text. Like, which one do you prefer? Oh my gosh. I even had a biological one. Like he said, I even have a biological one for you. Like I have a a biology, because I thought you would appreciate that. I said, what is this nonsense? And I can't even say, oh, how thoughtful, how creative, because one, it's weird, and two, it's not creative because you didn't write it. Like, why? Like, and it's the way that, oh my gosh, if you were to respond, finally, I have my original text, and then these are my options. Like, and you're sending me all six of them, all five or six of the flavors. I said, and I didn't even wake up to check if that happened because I just knew it didn't. But I was just like, this can't be. This was a dream. It's lucid. And I said, oh no. Now I'm checking. I know it's not there. But still, I was like, what the hell? But anyway, superior, vena cava, all the blood up here. Inferior, all the one at the bottom, top bottom, coming in and going and pouring and collecting in the right atrium, right? Then it goes through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle, right? Then it goes up then the tricuspid will close, and then it will go into the pulmonary semi-lunar valve, up and out into the pulmonary artery to go and get the oxygenated blood, because we're dealing with deoxygenated blood. We need to recycle, like, oh, it's coming from the head, come out here as I'm breathing, I'm letting more in, then it's doing that, then it goes into the lungs. No. You know, because of the way that that it looked, it was kind of, but I think it's like a tube. We didn't get that far. It was kind of cut off. Like, it just shows it going out into the right, going out into the pulmonary artery. It doesn't actually show the tubing and the connection to the lungs. Maybe now that I'm in the lungs, what's called PowerPoint, I'll probably see where it's going. But yeah, it goes to the lungs. Yeah, it gets oxygen and then brings it back into the pulmonary vein. And then that is poured into the left atrium. That bicuspid or mitral valve will open up and let it into the left ventricle. Then now close. Left ventricle will then go up into the aortic semilunar valve and then pump into the aorta, and then that pumps it out to the rest of the body. The highest pressure, because it has to pump all that blood into the body. Arms, fingers, head, toes, everywhere, and it's doing that as I'm speaking. That shit is crazy, huh? Oh my gosh, I watched this one. He's always doing that stupid shit. What's it called? Abdul Aesthetics. Like, he's always doing that, huh? I guess, and when he did it, it reminded me. I was like, "Who is he copying?" And then when he said Denzel, I was like, "Right, it's Denzel." But anyway. That bootcamp is great. I think in terms of just whether you're in undergrad or going to grad school, it's a great resource. Like, no sponsor, but if you want to sponsor me, come on. This is not even a sponsor, but if you want to sponsor, because this place belongs on the tissue. Stupid part. But yeah, hello, how are you? You know, if you want to sponsor, I believe in it. But no, that bootcamp is one of those girls. Yeah, one of the best. Truly one of the best. People have been saying Booster is like woo woo, but I went on Booster. I didn't like their interface. I didn't like their format, and I don't know. Oh, butterfly. Look at that green butterfly. Every time. Is that a Georgia thing? Like, I really only see green butterflies. From time to time, I see maybe a dark purple and or black one. Nah, I've never seen a black one. Have I seen a black one? Am I tripping? Maybe once. But no, I only see green butterflies in this area. I'm starting to think that they camouflage themselves. But no, it's just green. It's just green everywhere in February. But yeah, it's just green. Anyway, but I just feel like I just like that bootcamp more than Booster. Booster's not. I just don't like their interface, and they just don't have enough, like, Resources and stingy, I don't know. But I just like that boot camp a lot better. Like their interface, like everything is just more straightforward, more simple, and you can learn everything you need to learn without all the yama yama, the nonsense of booster. I just don't like that. I just don't like the interface. I don't like how they teach on there. Like they break it down, they're straightforward. Everything is cool, everything is chill. It's already a lot as it is. Why make it more complicated when it could be better explained on bootcamp? That's why I feel like I only watched a few videos and stuff, and then I don't really like the resources that they do have available. They barely have anything available. But yeah, that bootcamp, man, that bootcamp. A better professor than most of the professors I had in undergrad. Like saying like that's crazy. Like that's crazy. I think it's just because these are students themselves, have been students, and then so like this is how they would want some people to teach. I don't know what transpires between from the teachers who were once students and then become teachers. Like, have you forgotten yourself? Have you forgotten when you were a student? Like, I don't know if it's the age gap. I don't know if it's the generation thing. Like, what's going on? Like, you were once a student. You become a teacher. You forget you were a student, and then you forget that we're students because of it. And I don't know, but that boot camp specifically remembers that you're a student and remembers that more than likely you've been out of the game. As many people have been saying, like, so that boot camp was a really nice resource. I think it's for undergrad and grad, but yeah, give it up for fucking that boot camp. Like, you know, back to school with a brain on. Sunday brunch. Sunday brunch. No, but back to school. I don't like crunchy. If I'm gonna have to eat Cheetos, puffed only is a better. It's a better time. A better time to be had. It's a better experience. It's a better experience. Okay. Then I mean, it's baked. It's you know what? You know what? Baked. If you didn't have any puffs on you, baked Cheetos are as close to a puffiness as you're going to get. Like they not only are somewhat better, I guess, for you, somewhat better for you, but they also just like they um they um they have that feel because they're baked. They puff up a little more when they're baked. So it's as close as you're gonna get if I didn't have, if I ran out of puffs, which I'd always eat the Cheetos crunchy before the puffs. I would never like do myself in there like, oh, all I have left is crunchy. No, but yeah, the crunchy baked is as close as it's gonna get to puffed, and then you just have regular crunchy, which I would just, and then if I'm gonna have regular crunchy, it has to be hot. Why? Hot has more flavor. You see, unlike regular hot spicy food that just relies on killing your tongue, I'm like, why get something I won't enjoy? That's why I would never understand spicy food, because if it doesn't have flavor to it, it's a waste of food. That's just a waste of food. And I'm just suffering for what? Eating is supposed to be an experience. But yeah, hot Cheetos have a flavor to them. Cheetos regular it's just cheese. And I feel like it's hot. To be honest, obviously it has cheddar in there, but I don't know what their spice mix is, but it is a good mix. Because it has flavor, and then it just happens to have that little hint of cheese that, elevates it a little bit more. But regular crunchy cheese, I will never. And what's better than hot Cheetos? Hot Puffs. But what's even better than all of that nonsense? The spicy, sweet and spicy purple Doritos. Those are one of the best chips. One of the best chips. I couldn't imagine them puffed though. I feel like, what are we doing and how are you doing that? Because the way that it's set up, how are you puffing Doritos? Please let me know. I genuinely want to know what's going on. But then you have like, what am I talking about? The Pringle, the stacked Pringles? The sour, sweet, what am I talking about? The sour cream and onion. Best, nigga. Like, I do like that. What's it called? Sour cream and onion. Sour cream and onion, potato chips. This is Pringle. Pringle. Pringle has another one that I like. I mean, I can't remember it. I don't remember any like Pringles having a sweet and spicy flavor, but Pringles too. Hell, Pringles do you know have a good profile and then a nice chip to them that I don't mind. No, I do mind. I mean, out of every Pringle chip, I would not get barbecue. Oh, I also like sour cream and onion. What's it called? What is on my leg? Is that a bump? Oh no, it's just muscle. No, no, I like the white. What's it called? Look at look at the calf muscle. Look at the calf muscle. Look at my fucking moo. Like, look at that. I'm gonna get into it. This damn moo. Since I wear with pants, I was wearing with pants yesterday. But yeah, sour cream and onion are the is it cheddar sour cream and onion? Yeah, it's on here. Yeah, cheddar sour cream is not too bad too. Anyway, that boot camp, to like enjoyment and actually learning, like and finding it interesting. I went through like respiration and animalia species while I was watching Heart of Dixie. Definitely studying while something is on is very much like helpful. It depends on what it is. Like when I was learning in the beginning, all the foundational stuff and getting into that boot camp, it helped to not have anything on. But like the more convoluted and the longer and more in depth some things got, I needed some background noise. Oh my goodness. But yeah. This is just a nice digital diary entry to say the brain is on, um, and I'm happy about it. And I'm happy about it. I am. I can go higher. You can go higher. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go now, and I'm gonna finally get into it because I've only gotten to what's this thing called? What's this thing called? Low, damn it. I mean, yeah, the human lungs. Yeah, I've gotten in like only the first slide of the human lungs, and then maybe the second one we're going into pleura. Girl, I have not because I just knew I need to sit down, and I never could sat down. Never could sat down. I never could sat down. Now I can sat down because Adiba is back in school, and I just have a lot of time and space and energy to myself. Um, it's a little unfortunate just because next week Monday starts the OChem 2 class. So yeah, but I moved the way I move now then is how I'm going to be moving now, in that if the module is open on Sunday, I'm doing them on Sunday with the latest being Monday, and then have the rest of the week to myself. I don't believe in doing all like it's back then it made sense for me to end my school days on Wednesday and Thursday. Like I had a whole order. If I was thinking, which I normally would, I would take like 3 classes and stuff. I would take 3 classes and it'd be like American government on Monday. No, what was it really? It was English on Monday, chemistry on Tuesday, and then American government on Wednesday. And then I'd be done with everything no later than Friday. I know when I mean everything, I would also make the replies already in advance for each student, and you would have to reply on 2 separate days. So I'd reply on that day, and then wait till the next day, and then so yeah, I could be done with everything on Thursday. That's how I would like to move. And so because it's one class, that's even better for me because I can really do it on Sunday, no later than Monday, everything that there is to do, everything that there is to learn. I'll make exceptions if I just need it, but still, like, I would like to get rid of my requirements, like anything that I need to do, and have the rest of the week to myself to not only have the work done on time and early, really, but then have my life. I want some life. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And then I wanted to be cheap and watch the season finale of I'm Inside of Things on on August the 10th, because the last episode is the 10th episode, is the finale for season one. And I just thought it was on brand. I just thought it was on brand. I was like, oh, we're getting back into being a STEM girl. And in honor of that, I watched the season finale of Common Side Effect. Now, this Common Side Effect oh my gosh, and then it's perfect. Oh my gosh, and then it's suspicious because I think Common Side Effect comes back. Season 2 comes back in August 2027. No, 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 no. That's not what they said. I saw season 2. I saw a trailer for season 2 on YouTube. So what are you talking about? Season 2 of Common Side Effect early 2027. Like I said, apparently it's in 2027. Fuck. But anyway, in commemoration of me getting back into being a STEM girl and taking OChem 2 on August the 10th, I will be watching the season finale, episode 10. Come inside of it. It's a good show. Anyway. Happy day. Happy studying. Hold on. What are they talking about? I'm so very confused with Clayton. They just said we are still missing an official transcript showing you're awarded a bachelor's degree. Does it not say on there that I was awarded a bachelor's degree? This transcript must be requested and sent directly to us from the institution. It was, though. The transcript that I sent on parchment is from Kennesaw, which tells them that I got my degree from them, because if they know any, like, if you see the credits, I got my bachelor's degree. What? An official transcript showing you your awarded bachelor's degree. I really am so confused. This transcript must be requested and sent directly to us from the institution. Let me know if you have, but where do I request this? Like, shouldn't the transcript that I send show that I graduated from there? Honestly, I don't even I don't even know about it, to be honest. Like, I have found a few, very few. I need to go through my list because the schools that I've been looking at specifically are schools that have later deadlines that make it easier for me to be able to study for the DAT, get the money for the DAT, and take the DAT, and then get my results as soon as possible. So it's really the least they can do. I was just thinking about if I need to pay for sending my test scores, but no, that's free. The least they can fucking do. I mean, you're paying $540 something dollars. But a final college transcript shows a bachelor's degree by listing the official degree awarded or degree conferred. What I'm trying to say is, where do you go to even do that? Like, do you have to go to your... Yes, you can get proof of a degree by requesting an official transcript. Obtaining a degree verification certificate, or ordering a replacement diploma from your school. I really don't get this. Let me email this person and let them know that I already sent. I already sent my transcript showing the completion of my degree. As it was checked off by to be honest, I'm in the business of saving money, so I'm going to try my best to specifically look for programs that I genuinely care about, and genuinely care about me, and actually stand on something, and aren't just in the business and in the shit in the giggle of playing the numbers game. The shit in the giggle business of playing the numbers game, and um wanting to be top tier and wanting to be all procedures. Like, do you care about people pursuing what they want and becoming the best at what they want to become, or are you just here for the money? You just here for the shit and the giggle, honestly. So finding a program for me that fits my requirements, fits my timeline, and because it's just a lot, to be honest. Like, aside from, I mean, the reality of it is that as it is right now, in looking at their requirements for this class, because I looked up their course catalog and stuff, you need OChem 2 to be able to take biochem at their school. And then with GSU, their shit option, because it's just like you have to take as a shit position, because you have to take out loans. Not just to take any requirement, though. You have to take out loans to be able to go there. And albeit mommy is willing to help, it's just I don't want any and everybody involved in paying $500 and something for every payment period, because no, it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. It's not. It's like it's worth it, but it's not at the same time. Not to put yourself in a poorhouse and then have to wait again. Like, I understand, I get it. The whole your career will pay for itself once you get out of there and this, that, and whatever. I just believe in being comfortable. I genuinely just believe in things being taken care of rather than having to struggle and fuck around and find out and figure it out. Like, no. Why can't you get that scholarship that pays for everything and this, that, and whatever? Like, you know? And mind you, I like to be strategic and be more intentional. I don't have the time, nor the energy, nor the money, or whatever, really the money, to be sitting here applying for 10 plus programs. You work with what you have. I have this, I have that, which matches this program and that program. We're here with it. Let's go over there. And then they're offering a scholarship, or then I have a scholarship. Like, so I don't know. Like, all this, because I would have to take this class, and mind you, their classes start on the 8th at Clayton, and then on the 24th for GSU. To be honest, let me just take this OChem class and take my ass to the school that just takes OChem 2 and call it a day. And I already have one in mind. So, yeah. But yeah, back to school. Back to school. Yeah.